I have a story time when I manifested two of my exes back. Okay, so the first one is a big one. I had a relationship with someone. It was more like a situationship. And it went on for, I think, about a year. And he was actually a friend of mine. But then we became intimate and I realized I had a crush on him. He was helping me buy a car. It felt like, oh, that's a nice boyfriend thing to do. He always had a crush on me and I kind of friend zoned him, I guess. And we ended up getting together and it was an absolute disaster. I was crazy. I was very needy. I was very anxious. It was a crazy time for me. It was actually the catalyst for me to start doing this work. And I learned a lot from that relationship. I really hit rock bottom. I was so desperate for him to be with me and to love me that it ended up repelling him. And we ended up in this toxic situationship where he would constantly message me and I would say, I want a relationship. He just wanted to be friends. And then he would keep getting in contact and I wouldn't say no and I had no boundaries, but then I would give up everything as soon as he asked for it. And it was just one of those situations. I don't know, a lot of people have been in them where you just feel like you're taken for granted and the relationship could be so good if they just liked you more, if they just could commit. But the thing is, what I learned is that I didn't love myself. I did not love myself. My self-concept was so bad that I did things to repel him. He was so into me when I didn't even care about him. He was so into me because I felt good within myself and I wasn't yearning and needing his validation. And as soon as we got into a relationship or a situationship, it wasn't really a relationship, it wasn't committed or anything. As soon as we got into that, everything changed because I became a needy mess. I became reactionary. When you look at it, there was things he was doing, but we know about thought creation, law of assumption. We know that honestly, I created that with my thoughts because I had a huge fear of abandonment. There were just moments where I almost set him up to fail, right? Like, I remember it was my birthday and I said, I don't want to do anything with you for my birthday because I was keeping him at a distance because I had a feeling the relationship wouldn't work out. So I tried not to get too attached. So I tried to control the situation, but I was so out of control within it. Anyway, so I said, I don't want to do anything for my birthday. And then I realized my birthday was on a weekday, just a normal work day. And then on the day of my birthday, I said, actually, I do want to do something. And he was catching up with a friend who'd just gone through a breakup and needed his help. And I straight away thought, that's not good enough. That's terrible. Oh, well, he's a terrible person. I happened to be with my coworker who was completely toxic. And she said, block his number, do all this, don't answer the phone when he calls. He was going to meet me after work, but he wasn't meeting me at the right time. I asked him to do something with me last minute and he didn't drop everything for me because no self-respecting person would. And yeah, he didn't do what I expected. And so I turned it into a dramatic event. And anyway, my coworker was just literally reflecting all of my fears back to me. Like, oh, he's not good enough. He should be doing this. You're amazing, this kind of stuff. And what could have been a really nice casual birthday celebration turned into tears and drama and alcohol and stupidity. Anyway, we went on and on and on and roundabout in this toxic cycle for quite a while until I decided I'd had enough. I had to cut it off. I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I blocked him. I think we had a big fight, even though we weren't even in a relationship. We had this big fight and he didn't want me around because I was drama. And the next day I realized I can't do this, and I apologized to him because I was a bit crazy. And I took responsibility for my actions and I said, I can't do this anymore, because he kept contacting me even though I said I wanted to be friends. It was very confusing and it was hard. And my poor little heart, right? So I told him I can't do this anymore, and I blocked him on everything. I blocked his phone number, I blocked his Instagram, everything was blocked because I needed to heal. And I told him it wasn't no hard feelings, I just need this for myself, right? I wouldn't advise doing that. It's quite dramatic, but if you have to, I guess that's fine. But I've not had to do anything like that ever again. Anyway, I went on a healing journey and I learned to love myself, and I did all these things to level up my self-concept, and I was on fire, actually. I was really happy. I still thought about him, and I would have loved it if we could have reconnected because I thought we had a great chemistry. But I was really focused on myself, and that's what was important. And I got so focused on myself and worked through everything, even though I was still heartbroken, but continuing to focus on myself. And it was out of nowhere. A year later, I remember I blocked him on his phone. I got a private number call. And at that point, it was about 10 o'clock at night, and my friend was actually coming over to pick something up. And I thought it was her saying, oh, I'm about to come over. Anyway, because I probably wouldn't have answered the phone if I knew it was him. So I answered the phone and it was him. And he wanted to know what I'd been up to and how I was. And by that stage, I was done. Too much toxic stuff had happened and I just didn't want to deal with him anymore. But he came back. And honestly, if I knew about the law of assumption then, I probably would have looked at it differently, because at that point I was doing more law of attraction techniques, which is very similar, but I wasn't interested anymore. I totally wasn't interested, and he was not right for me. Sometimes your self-concept will make you attracted to people who you don't even want to be with, or you shouldn't be with. I wanted someone so much different. He wasn't healthy. He didn't take responsibility for himself. He was a victim. He was sad all the time. I wanted I would not want to be with someone like that now, and I didn't want to be with someone like that then. So my self-concept leveled up so much, and he called me and we chatted, and we didn't talk again because I didn't want to speak to him anymore. But around the same time, and this is why I talk about self-concept, another ex who, for years before this, we were together we went on a few dates, and he was really interested at the start. And then after a couple of months, he kind of lost interest and then told me he wasn't interested in being in a relationship with me. And I was really sad about it because I kind of liked him, and I thought it would have been nice anyway. This happened to me a lot. Again, I was pretty needy. I was pretty nervous. I was pretty anxious, and I don't know. It wasn't toxic at all, but he was not fully interested so much. And anyway, he called me, he messaged me around the same time. I'm not joking, around the same time. So my self-concept must have been on fire. Around the same time, he messaged me and said, oh, I saw you walking down the street. Do you want to go for a walk sometime? And I thought, wow, okay. I actually really liked him, and I thought, oh, maybe we could go for a walk. Anyway, I said yes, and then I decided, no, I don't want to go for a walk. He did this, 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 this. I actually don't like this guy at all. Why would I want to go for a walk? I felt really validated about him calling me back and wanting to reconnect. And so I cancelled. And he tried to call me again. He was like, not hounding me, but he tried a few times to ask me out again until I just didn't respond anymore. But yeah, I remember, and again, my self-concept had leveled up so much that I was not attracted to him anymore. I didn't want a guy like him anymore. I thought, why did I even like this guy in the first place? What the hell? My expectation, well, my level of what I wanted and what was just higher. Because it's a turn off. When your self-concept is really good, it's a total turn off. That to be with someone who's flaky or not so nice, or it's a turn off. You are just turned off. But if your self-concept isn't great, you will be attracted to these people who aren't even good for you, who aren't even that great. And you put them so high on the pedestal and you think they're so amazing because you think you can't do any better, because you think that they're doing you a favor for being with you. You have to get to the point where you are doing them a favor by choosing them. You choose. You get to choose. And that's how I am now, which is really cool. And after that, I was very much choosing. I was the person choosing. I was the person who would say yes or no. Mostly I was the one rejecting them. They were very happy to commit. After all that, they were always committed. It was sad for them because I wasn't interested. Whereas before, it was me chasing them around like a puppy. And then it changed because my self-concept completely changed. Okay? Never got to get into a relationship with those people, so who knows what my subconscious beliefs of abandonment would have created, like it did in one of my other relationships. But now I know all about that. I'm able to control the outcome of whatever I want. So that's a little story time for you. Hopefully that helped you, give you some hope that you can manifest your SP or your ex back, or someone you really liked, and you can have a new relationship with them. You can, absolutely. And maybe you need a bit more time, like a year or two, so that you both come back healed and you can forget about the past and you can move forward in a new relationship, because you understand all this stuff and how you created things with your mind, and you can work on that through the relationship, the new relationship that you enter in with your SP. Okay? So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please put a like and a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.